Hey, everybody, and welcome to our final evening in our daily dose on messy spirituality. And I'm so honored that you are here with me tonight. If you're somebody who's watching on Facebook, I want to invite you to share this onto your personal page. And if you're watching on YouTube, would you just go ahead and click subscribe? And if you're joining us on cable access, I'm just so honored that you are here. We've been talking this week about what it means to have a messy spirituality, and we're going to kind of close up that conversation today. So if you missed any of it, you can go back and watch the whole thing either on Facebook or the church website, www.calvaryalex.org, or on YouTube. When my oldest son was in high school, a good friend of his took his own life. And I'll be honest, it was a really hard time for us as the friends, but not even an ounce of comparable to what it was for this young man's family. It was so hard to understand. I mean, we watched this boy grow up right in front of our eyes. My husband Ryan coached him on the soccer team, and we all remember that funny moment when he got yellow carded for just doing something really silly that he knew was wrong. And as we watched our 16-year-old at that time grieve, and how our son wrestled with all the complicated emotions that a loss like this kind of brings up in you, we weren't sure how to love him and how to care for him when his pain was just so deep. Chase would go into his room and he would lock his door to his room, and we could hear that he was angry and hurting on the other side of the door, but he just wanted to be left alone. He knew that these emotions were just too big for him, and they were even too big for our own grown-up selves, and I can't imagine being a teenager having to wrestle through those. And so we would just wait. My husband and I, we would just sit on the other side of the door, knowing that our son was hurting on the inside of that door. And then he would come out when he wanted to talk, and he'd sit there and say, "Oh my gosh, you guys are so annoying. I'm fine." And we're like, "Oh, I know we're annoying, but we love you. And this is really hard." I know that we are annoying. And as parents, sometimes we are annoying, and we just wanted to sit there and look at him and say, "Yeah, but we love you. We love you, and we are here for you in this tragedy. We love you, and we are right here outside this door." I sometimes feel like this too. I am a hugger by trade. I love to hug people, and so the social distance, this not hugging people all the time thing, it's been really kind of hard for me. But I'll tell you when I don't like hugging. I don't like hugging when I'm hurting. There's a big part of me that when I'm in pain, I just don't want to be touched at all. And I'm sure some of you are like that as well. I just want to sort of hold myself together and generally overfunction my way through the pain that I'm feeling. And my husband, thank God, has figured this out about me, because when he sees and he knows that I'm in this hurting space, that I don't want to be touched, the "I don't want to hug me" body language that I give off, he'll just sort of reach out his hand in this kind, sort of gentle, far away, kind of rub my shoulder kind of thing. And of course, I do wonder why I'm like this, because I am a hugger, but I'll be honest, I think that there's part of me that doesn't really want to break down. And I don't want to totally collapse in my feelings or be dependent upon somebody else to work through my emotions. There's a part of me that just wants to sort of wrestle through them on my own instead of letting other people in when I'm hurting. There's a part of me that wants to control it super bad. And I mean, I know it's just absolutely annoying to my husband, but it's annoying to me too that he wants to help me through it. And friends, I think that God's love can sometimes be like this. It can sometimes be kind of annoying. It can be super irritating. And as God just wants to sit right outside the door when we don't want to let God in, or God just wants to hold us, but we don't want to totally break down, and we sort of resist it. But God is constantly coming to us over and over and over and over again. And let's be honest, in our messy spirituality, we sometimes want to push God away. We want to think that God isn't there to comfort us and that we somehow have to just muscle through ourselves. We somehow want to think that we can handle this life alone and that we just need to clean up our own mess and we don't need any God to help us do that. But just imagine for a second. Imagine that someone you loved was standing next to a beautiful china cabinet, and then they reached to grab something on the top shelf, but instead the whole thing tipped and came crashing all around them, glass shattering everywhere with their body right there in the middle of it. Now you, as a human being, you wouldn't just let them sit there, would you? No, you would go into that mess in risk cutting yourself. And friends, this is what God does for us. God wades into this mess, not expecting anything from us like perfect church attendance or flawless behavior, but God wades into this mess because God loves us. And God is super annoying about it because God will not leave you alone, no matter how much mess or brokenness is around you, not how much mess and brokenness you have gotten yourself into. God will not leave you alone. No matter what, even if you'd rather isolate and push him away and close the door, God will not leave you alone. You see, God wades into your mess because God loves you so deeply. And here's the thing, God is never, ever going to take back God's love. God's never going to kick you out and put a condition on it. God's never going to grow weary of loving you, or weary of reaching out towards you. Author Mike Yaconelli puts it like this: neither failure, nor poor church attendance, nor inadequate Bible reading or prayer, nor betrayal, denial, doubt, insecurity, guilt, weakness, bad theology, or even losing our temper will ever separate us from the love of God. You see, God's annoying love continues to love us even when we don't love ourselves. God loves us when we don't act like Christians. God loves us when our lives are absolutely a mess and there's nothing that we can do about it. And God's love is sticky. God's love is resistant to rejection. It's resistant to aggressiveness, and it's persistent. The challenge to go on and on, to resist God's love, to run and hide from it. Go ahead and try, my friends, but God will continue to go after you over and over and over again. Because, friends, nothing will separate you from God's love. Nothing at all. Because your messiness is enough for God, and God loves you. So as we end our series, I'll leave you with these questions to think about today. First of all, how do you most intensely experience God's love? Is it in worship? Is it in nature? Is it in Bible study or conversations with friends? How do you intensely experience God's love? And the second question is, when you imagine Jesus' love for you, his unfailing, kind of annoying love, how does it make you feel? Thanks for joining us this week on our series, Messy Spirituality. And like I said, if there's any of it that you missed, you can go back and get it all. We are so honored that you took this time with us.
Spoke when you were singing over me. You have been so good to me. Before I took a breath, you breathed your life in me. You have been so kind to me. Oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. Oh, it chases me down, finds till I'm found, leaves at 99. I couldn't earn it, I don't deserve it, till you give yourself away. Oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God, yeah. I was your foe, still your love fought for me. You have been so good to me. When I found no worth, you paid it all for me. You have been so kind to me. Oh, the deserve it, still you gave yourself away. Oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God, yeah. There's no shadow you won't light up, mountain you won't climb up, coming after me. There's no wall you won't kick down, lie you won't tear down, coming after me. There's no shadow